everyone, my name is Anouar Rahmani. I'm an Algerian writer, novelist, and human rights defender. I was a little bit famous, in a way, famous, in the recent years because of my LGBT rights defense, and my name appeared in a lot of organizations, newspapers, media all around the world. I was shortlisted for the Index on Censorship Freedom of Speech Award in London, and I was also honored by the German Bundestag program Parliamentarians for Parliamentarians. I'm not a parliamentarian myself, and I composed a model for the Algerian Constitution in 2019 and or 18, and I've been also a novelist and a blogger and a defender of human rights and freedom of speech and LGBT rights and also women rights. I mean, just to that's this small introduction that I'm giving you today is just to give you some time to think about what I'm going to talk today. So today I'm going to speak about the situation of the LGBT rights around the world. I didn't prepare for this. I didn't write this. I'm just trying to be spontaneous and speak about it with honesty from the bottom of my heart. I just failed a Zoom meeting for a job application, so I said, why not doing something positive and and be happy about it the whole day. So let's start. So I'm not gonna have slides or anything. It's just small talk. Maybe some people think it's bullshit. It's okay. It's their freedom of speech. But I want to speak today about why this. I want to answer this question from my own perspective. Why is that? The question of LGBT rights is always an issue and a matter of crisis between right and left. And why is it that LGBT people, even though they are a minority, as people say, they are sexual minority in a way, they present a threat to the system. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. We all know that we live in a world that is dominated by the heterosexual. And there is a need for that. I mean, heterosexuality is the heterosexuality is the main sexuality or the most important sexuality on planet Earth. And it's dominant in a way, even or with like with nature, some people may say, or just because of the social pact. Because we all know that some societies, including mine, homosexual men, for example, or women, they have to get married with the opposite sex at certain age, and they don't. Sometimes they have the right to choose the person, but they don't always have the time to choose the sex. Actually, they don't have time to choose the sex because they want to be part of the social pact that requires them to institutionalize for a family and be a component of the society, and a productive component. When I say productive component, I mean giving birth to children. Therefore, in my society, for example, in Algeria, women, even straight women, heterosexual women, who chose not to get married, or they just don't get lucky enough to find a man, they are usually marginalized, or also divorced women. They are marginalized the way gay men are marginalized. The same kind of oppression. Why? It's because they lack productivity. So, and again, productivity is giving birth to children. Why is that important in societies, in in any society today, including the American society. Some people may think it's the opposite. It's not true. Because heterosexuals, they designed, in a way, the societies and the rules of the societies we're living in. They made the concept of chastity, and they made the concept of being faithful sexually. It's because the family requires that the sexual desire is not number one, not the most important thing. It's not a priority. The priority is to give birth to children and raise them. And therefore, having sex with multiple men or multiple women can compose a threat, because a person can have children with a lot of people and then cannot maintain their needs and health. And here I'm talking about men and women, both the same. And even though we may think that the whole maybe weight of this social pact is on men, it's actually the opposite. It's on women. The mothers, sometimes the grandmothers even, they take more like, how to say that, the most important job in raising the family and keeping the men faithful. I was raised seeing that happening, and when I came to America, it's the same thing. It's always about mothers and grandmothers in a way. So how is that an issue for men? How is it historically? I mean, or at least philosophically, is against gay men or gay women or LGBT in general, or even the intersex people too. I mean, anyone that may be looked as a marginalized, as a sexual minority. Because in the social pact that was designed by the heterosexual, the most important thing is raising children, is making families and raising children. LGBT people, they are not inside this pact. They didn't sign on the pact. They didn't sign on this treaty, this primitive treaty. They didn't sign over it. So they compose a threat to the heterosexual rule. The heterosexual couples, parents, they think that all the resources, the common resources of the society, the economic resources of the society, they belong to them and their children. It's about economy and financials. Therefore, in many cases, gay people or LGBT people get less, or how to say, less salary for the same job that another straight people is doing, because a straight person is seen more important in the system. The way women get less salaries too, because they think men are more important. That it's the same sexual class, the same brain that designed the superiority of men in the gender hierarchy is the same thing that made gay people inferior in the hierarchy. It's the same thing. So LGBT people, if they don't get into the straight people or the heterosexual economic and financial and political and even legal pact, they will be marginalized because they are a threat on the economy, on the resources. That's why they would see it almost instinctually. Heterosexual prioritize, sometimes not even aware of themselves, heterosexual people over LGBT people. They sometimes maybe they're not aware of it because it's almost instinctual. They think you are less important to the system that was designed, and therefore you deserve to be marginalized and oppressed. So maybe some people would think that I'm exaggerating saying that. I am not. It's clear. It's very clear. Look at just the tax system. The tax system prioritizes, in the name of ethics and morality, of heterosexual having children, to put more taxes. I mean, they don't phrase it like that. They phrase that they actually put less. They put less taxes on the heterosexual couples with children, and but they actually put more taxes on LGBT people and some other component that they didn't get married or they didn't bear children. It's because the system that was designed by the heterosexual prioritize their interest. I mean, from a moral point of view, I think I can pay more taxes in the society if the money goes to children. But guess what? In the same name of the same economic and financial morality in the society, in a brutal capitalist society like this, people might think that being moral and go help others and being all together, working together for the best of the society, the best interest of the society. I'm sorry, I need to sneeze. I'm trying to sneeze. I think that was one of the fake sneezes. I mean, okay. So, let me continue. Yeah, so for the best of interests of the society, people might think that if they make LGBT people pay more taxes, or if people who are not married and have children pay more taxes than the parents, the heterosexual people have children, they are doing something good because they are helping the children. But there is also another morality point that they skip. The heterosexual, as they are bearing children, children are actually financial and economic investment. In the human being society, in the humanity, I mean the way the humanity has developed, children were never children, were never a fruit of love. They were fruit of financial need, of economic need. People used to bear a lot of children so that they do the agriculture, they hunt, they bring more resources to the society. So that's why sometimes when we have wars or genocide, people tend to, or even poverty, people tend to bring more children. They are not, that's not illogical, that's actually logical because they want to invest on those children. They want these children to work for them when they go older, or they bring more money when they are still children, and they're that in some societies, and bring money. And when this need went down, just like the horses, when we didn't need horses anymore because of the cars, the number of horses went down, is the same thing for children. The number of children today went down because there is no big financial need for having children. So today, children are becoming more like a luxury, but it's also still an investment. Tomorrow, when both heterosexual couples with children and LGBT people and people who chose not to give children, to bear children, when they get older, there is more chances for heterosexuals to get help by their children. When LGBT people, they will be marginalized again as elderly people, and they will be put aside. Sometimes if they have money, they can pay for a shelter or for their retirement, and they won't find anyone for them. They wouldn't find people to even change their, I'm not gonna say it. So the whole system is designed on the priority of the primitive act, not to the end of the story. It's made to help heterosexual maintain healthy life. I personally have no problem with that as it is, as in as facts on the ground. I'm not gonna be that selfish and say that no, we should not contribute to the society. Children are children of everyone, in a perfect sense and a perfect word. But from the real perspective, they are only children of their parents, and it's an investment. That is just an example, but there are a lot of other examples. If you go to jobs, if you go to do wherever you do, there is always a priority for a person who have children. More salary, more chances they get promoted, more empathy, and sometimes goes against LGBT people. Today, as the LGBT movement around the world has achieved a lot of how to say that like a lot of rights and a lot of achievement. I just didn't want to say achievement because I already say achieved. I'm sorry, my English vocabulary is not that large. I mean, I'm not a native speaker, and yeah. So what I was talking about? Okay, yeah. So the LGBT rights, they achieved a lot of rights. They become a threat to the system. We watch, for example, in art. LGBT people, historically speaking, they are known that they tend to go to art field. They like the art. I mean, I'm not. It's a stereotype, but it's quite true too. People, even the LGBT people who are not artists, they tend to love the art. They like painting, writing, I don't know, drinking. If that is a right, I don't know. This tendency has made the world of art, in a way, full of LGBTQIA people, and maybe from especially in cinema for a century, for example, having a gay couple or a gay love story in a cinema is like it's like a very audacious step or something that's in a positive way. But today we see people complaining about Netflix movies because they have a lot of gay figures. And a lot of companies in America, they don't have that much of gay figures in their series because they don't want to lose the heterosexual pact. So they're not producing that much of LGBT movies. The reason for that is that the heterosexual, they see the threat. They don't want the LGBT people to dominate any field. And even though the LGBT people are far away from dominating the cinema, I mean, when you speak about production or the art, and people have the choice today. It's not like people are obliged to watch something, even if Netflix choose to produce that much of LGBT series. You have the right not to watch them. I mean, you don't have to pay to watch. But what they do is that actually they keep complaining because they don't want any free space for the LGBT people. Because the LGBT people, again, is a threat to the heterosexual pact. We see that also a lot about some stereotypes. About, for example, the pedophilia. In a lot of videos online and a lot of platforms, especially, for example, in the Arab world, in some cinema, like say the Egyptian cinema, the gay figure is, especially the gay man, is always pictured as a pedophile or at least a sexual harasser and a bad person in general. Even though in the gay world we have a culture, some maybe heterosexual don't know about that, and it's quite different than the heterosexual culture. And we have a lot of open relationships, and we have a lot of how to say that, we have a different way how to approach someone if we like them sexually. It's still in a very ethical and a moral way. Sometimes it's different than the heterosexual. Sometimes it's more courageous. But that's how the culture of the LGBT word has been developed within centuries. So heterosexuals, they try to impose their heterosexual system even in homosexual relationships and art and also family. Today we have homosexual families, and the heterosexuals are trying to impose their own view of a family on the homosexual families. And then they allow themselves, the heterosexual, to actually impose an idea that is quite not true, that children cannot be adopted by gay people, but they can be adopted by straight people. It's like heterosexual people, that's what they say. They are like more mentally stable to raise children, and it's because children needs a mother and a father, which is just a myth and a routine, historical routine that people think is true. But raising children is not a sexual act. That is the thing. People who keep saying that about the homosexuals and keep relating pedophilia with homosexuality, they don't have a brain to think that actually raising children is not a sexual act. It's beyond sexuality. I'm not raising children with a sexual desire. That is not just a crime. That's a craziness. That's a horrible, the most horrible. If that's your mindset, is that you need a heterosexual couple to raise children, is that inside your brain you think bearing children and raising them is a sexual act. It is not. You raise children with feelings, emotions, and the feeling of responsibility, that you are responsible to care about these innocent people and help them grow safe in this world and work for them to be actually helpful in a society. But no, for you, they need a heterosexual couple like relationship. They need heterosexuals to raise them, which is crazy. Crazy. Raising children is not a sexual act. It's not a sexual act, I'm sorry. This kind of concept is the pedophilia. So the heterosexual pact, I've seen that in Algeria. I've seen that here too, in America, to be honest. They work together against the gay person. They work together. The gay people are usually, even from their childhood, because people feel, other children feel that someone is different than them. They don't align with the gender, like prototype. They are a little bit, as some people say, weird, even when they are children, when they didn't really discover their sexuality yet, or when they grow up, they are usually victims of bullying. They are the scapegoat of the group. And today in the United States of America, this issue has been approached differently by the heterosexual. Today, because of the laws and everything, and the protection, sometimes it's fake, it's folkloric, for the LGBT rights, has maintained some level of protection for the LGBT right that didn't allow heterosexual to act freely with their instinctual hate toward the LGBT rights. I'm sorry for saying that. And I'm not radical about that. It's the truth. Okay? So instead of attacking, let's say, a gay person working in a place, instead of attacking the gay, or any LGBT, when I say gay, I mean any LGBT, even though the word may be not used that way, but when I mean gay, I mean the LGBTQAI people. That's what I mean now. I'm just using it as an abbreviation. Okay? So instead of attacking their sexuality, no. They attack their integrity, their dignity, their reputation. They attack their interest. so that they can get away with it. And then if the group in general, the group of the heterosexual, chose to the heterosexual or the hidden gay people, because they will act like heterosexual to look heterosexual. They will, if they all together choose to harm a person's reputation or anything, like their, let's say, the way they work, the way they do their job, the weight of the group is very strong. First, they won't feel the sin. They won't feel the sin because the sin is shared among the group. Second, they believe themselves. They believe their illusions about the person because they keep saying it, they keep talking about it, they keep gossiping about that person a lot. So they create the scapegoat mechanism, which is known. I mean, at least anyone who knows some of the social psychology would know that. And then people would believe what they are saying because of that. And then they will attack the person, keep attacking the person without making it look like an attack or homophobia. They would make the person look less, how to say that, just like not a safe person. It's just mental illness. So when they do that, they keep the same threat, the same system of oppression against the LGBT people without giving it a name, without saying we're actually attacking them for being homosexuals or LGBT people. They also ask the LGBT people in the work field not to be so gay or to keep it professional. It's like professional means straight. It means heterosexual prototype. It means a heterosexual stereotype. That's what is professional. You cannot be yourself in a job field. You should be the same as everyone. And the same as everyone is heterosexual mode of life and culture and clothing and everything. There are other ways. I can talk like forever here. I wouldn't even end this thing. But what I want to say is that, I mean, I have to say it. The heterosexuals created systems, legal systems, political systems, religious systems, economic and financial systems, tax systems to maintain or to control the resources of the society in their own interest. It's the same way in a segregational system of that is based on skin color. The majority, for example, in America during that time, the white people were taking all the resources for themselves. That's why they created the segregation system, so that the black people wouldn't be, how to say that, they wouldn't be capable of getting those interests. And the same way also a colonial system would work when they will actually take control of the whole population and geography. It's so that they take the resources for themselves. It's the same thing for the heterosexual pact. The main purpose of that is to actually take on the resources, whether in the job, in the financial systems, in places like closed places too, where people live together. That's what they do. To maintain resources, they attack the gay person, because the gay person is seen as a person who's not part of the heterosexual pact. They will have no children, so they don't need rights. It's all about economic resources. It's all about the resources. The right is about resources, nothing more. It's not about God. It's not about morality. It's not about ethics. It's nothing about that. It's nothing about that. The main problem, the main issue in all of that, it is the resources, is economic. And today I think there is a big threat again to the LGBT rights all around the world. Heterosexuals should know and should understand that we are not part of the social pact, of the heterosexual pact. We don't belong to this culture, we don't belong to this system. And we're trying to create our parallel world that work together with you, be helpful with you, even help you in a way raise your children, pay more taxes than you inside a system, maybe. But it doesn't mean that we should give up on our rights, on our visibility, on our dreams, on our interest to please you or to keep you safe. Because we're not dragons. We don't set fire from our mouths. We're just human beings like you. We have emotions and brains and rationality, and we can think. And we want also to keep some resources for ourselves. We have the right to be selfish just like you. We have an ego too. The possibility of you having children or bearing children doesn't give you more rights than me, because I can't as a gay person, whether a man or a woman. Raising children itself is not a sexual act. An existence in a society, it doesn't have to be biological. I mean, in a way. I don't have to apologize for my biology and make it look like everyone to please you. I like men. I like adult men. I'm a man and I like men. And I think men are beautiful. Women are beautiful too, but I just don't have sexual orientation to women. I think I'm gay person and I should not be punished just because I like a different sexual organ than you. Thank you everyone and have a good day.